Misha Laskin, a now ex-Google Deepmind employee, has recently left Google Deepmind to start his own company called Reflection AI because he believes AGI is only 3 years away and that Google isn't moving fast enough. Meta is set to release their Llama 3 405 billion parameter model on July 23rd. Based on how well their smaller Llama 3 models have performed, it looks like we might be getting a state-of-the-art, just as good as GPT-4o type model. Finally, we take a look at this new robot dog vacuum cleaner that roams around beaches picking up cigarette butts using his legs as tiny vacuums. So before I show you guys this fascinating clip, just to give you a little bit more context, Misha Laskin is not just some random employee at Google DeepMind. He was actually a research scientist working on agents before he decided to leave, so he definitely should know what he's talking about. Just keep that in mind when you watch this clip, because the things he's going to say might sound crazy, but remember that this is someone who's actually worked in this field and still actively works in this field.
We're all very hungry. Maybe that's how I'd put it. We could have, Giannis and I could have stayed and tried pushing agents, at DeepMind. And as I said, I think, the reason we decided to do it in our own way is because we think we can move quickly and much faster against this goal. And some of this urgency is driven by a real belief that we are 3 or so years away from something that resembles a digital AGI. And by that, that's what I've been referring to as universal agents, something that has both this kind of breadth and depth of knowledge. And that means we're actually on a very accelerated timeline. You're, a few months in, you're kind of 5% away from hitting that timeline. And maybe some of this is also driven by how quickly AlphaGo went, from experts in the field doubting this is possible. I think it's kind of decades. Human level, or like expert human level Go play was decades away, and how effectively they were able to solve that problem within months. I think we're seeing a similar kind of acceleration happening with language models.
On a similar note, Andrej Karpathy, co-founder and ex-research scientist at OpenAI, announced he's starting an AI education company called Eureka Labs. They have a little bit more information about it on their official website, but essentially what they have created is an AI native school where people can choose to use AI to create courses or simply to learn new things more efficiently and in a personalized way. Their first product is a course that guides students on how to train their own AI, so definitely something we'll be keeping our eye on, because this could be something that potentially transforms education. In other news, the information reports that Meta AI plans to release their Llama 3 405 billion parameter model on July 23rd. As we saw earlier, their smaller models, Llama 3 8 billion parameter and Llama 3 70 billion parameter, perform exceptionally well for their size, even keeping up with state-of-the-art models dozens of times larger. What makes this even more crazy is that all of Meta's models are open source, so in a few days, the world might have access to an open source GPT-4o or better level model. And what that means, well, I'm not exactly sure. One thing to note though is that the model will only be multimodal and not omnimodal like GPT-4o, so it won't have that exceptional voice mode that we're all waiting for, which in OpenAI's case has been getting continuously pushed back due to safety concerns. Speaking of safety concerns, the EU has some. Meta stated they will withhold all future multimodal AI models to customers in the EU due to their unpredictable and unclear regulations on AI. This comes only weeks after Apple decided not to roll out their Apple Intelligence in the EU due to regulatory concerns as well. The EU is known for being quick to implement regulations on emerging technologies, but their hastiness seems to be scaring off some of the bigger players. As a result, if you live in the EU, you might have some trouble accessing future AI-related products, which may seem like a bad thing, but ultimately it could end up being a good thing. Only time will tell. This certainly won't be the case in the US, especially if Trump gets reelected, because as we can see here from this article by Business Insider, Trump's allies are working on a plan to create Manhattan projects, that's projects plural, for AI military tech. If we dive a little bit deeper here, according to the Washington Post, several people close to the former president are writing up an AI executive order to advance US interests in this technology. It will include the creation of industry-led agencies that will study AI models and protect them from foreign powers, the report said. said. The post also noted that the framework contains a section called Make America First in AI. So Trump, or at least Trump's team, seems to recognize the importance of this technology, but the fact that they plan on setting up multiple Manhattan projects is a little bit concerning. I understand that they want to protect this information from foreign adversaries because of how powerful it is, but that also means they'll be withholding it from the public. This means we will have no idea what they're working on, just like we had no idea they were working on nuclear bombs. It also means that the US military will be heavily focused on accelerating AI, and with their budget, we can only imagine what that will result in. Now, as I was making this video, we had some minor breaking news from OpenAI. They dropped the GPT-4o Mini, a miniature version of their state-of-the-art model GPT-4o, but much cheaper. It outperforms all other models of its size on benchmarks and only slightly underperforms the larger GPT-4o model. It's priced at 15 cents per million input tokens and 60 cents per million output tokens, making it an order of magnitude cheaper than previous frontier models, and for reference, 60% cheaper than GPT 3.5 Turbo. So OpenAI has proven that their models will continue to get exponentially cheaper while simultaneously becoming more advanced, which seems to be a common theme in the AI industry. This is a big step forward in making state-of-the-art AI accessible to more people, which creates more opportunity and innovation. Speaking of OpenAI, they've been very busy this week. Just a day before the release of GPT-4o Mini, they published some new research regarding the legibility of LLM output. The reason this research is so important is because they essentially found a way to use smaller, less capable LLMs to verify the outputs of larger, more advanced LLMs and make them easier to understand for humans. They did this by having 3 models, one small LLM responsible for distinguishing between right and wrong answers, and 2 larger LLMs, one responsible for generating solutions easily legible to humans, and another responsible for generating incorrect solutions to improve the smaller LLM over time. This system resulted in a balance between outputting correct answers and outputting legible answers. This is major progress towards aligning superintelligence because it's proof that we can use smaller, less capable models that are easier to control to help us understand larger, more advanced AI systems. Also, there's the implication that we can have less advanced AI systems supervising larger, more capable systems, negating the need for human intervention. Meet Vero, a robotic dog vacuum cleaner that uses its vision system and internal neural network to locate and pick up cigarette butts. Its 4 legs, which all have tiny vacuums attached to them, allow it to traverse across various terrains autonomously for long periods of time. So what I found really interesting about this is that they essentially modified a normal robotic dog to create this vacuum cleaner robot dog, which is something we don't see very often. Like, this is something I haven't really thought about, but once humanoid robots become more widespread and consumer accessible, people are definitely going to be modifying them in all sorts of ways. Not just changing their style and look, but also their functionality by adding or transforming certain parts just like you would a car. Obviously, humanoid robots are a little more complex than cars, but cars are relatively complex too, like there's a reason we have mechanics. In other robotics news, Disney published a new research paper introducing their tiny bipedal robots designed for entertainment.
Hi! Aw. Aren't you so cute? What do you see? Look, it's your friends. Let's go say hi. It's okay. Let's go say hi. Come on, don't be shy. It's okay. They're your friends. Let's go. Don't be shy. Come on.
It's cool to see Disney working on robotics for entertainment purposes. Maybe it'll inspire some other companies to do the same. Finally, to end off the video, we have this article from Wired that exposes Apple, Nvidia, and Anthropic for using YouTube videos to train their AI models. Wired states, our investigation found that subtitles from 173,536 YouTube videos siphoned from more than 48,000 channels were used by Silicon Valley heavyweights including Anthropic, Nvidia, Apple, and Salesforce. The dataset, called YouTube Subtitles, contains video transcripts from educational and online learning channels like Khan Academy, MIT, and Harvard. The Wall Street Journal, NPR, and the BBC also had their videos used to train AI, as did The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and Jimmy Kimmel Live. Proof News also found material from YouTube megastars including Mr. Beast, Marquez Brownlee, Jacksepticeye, and PewDiePie. So this is still a very controversial topic. On one side of the argument, the content they're using to train their AI models is already publicly available on the internet. So just like how a human can consume and learn from that content, an AI should be able to as well. Then on the other side of this argument, they're using this content without the permission of the content creators nor the permission of YouTube themselves. So what do you guys think of this? Do you think these big AI companies should be allowed to do this, or is it more along the lines of stealing, and should YouTube implement regulations to prevent this? Let me know in the comments, but that's it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.